Well, you're muted still.
Professional show here, guys. We are starting off fantastic. Welcome in to the Husker Gutter call-in show live. We are live here to take your phone calls. Remember, no video needed. We don't need to see your ugly mugs if we don't have to or if you don't want us to, you know. Just need audio, and you need to speak English. Preference. We have Google Translate, but please speak English. Thank you. Mike has already
usual.
Mike has already called in. So let's go ahead and bring him in. Then we'll get to the rest of wait. Yeah. You got to activate your mic first there, Mike. All right. Your mic. What's up, Mike? You're live.
You are muted.
What's up, Mike? You're live.
I was muted on purpose. So
how dare you?
Not much. How you guys doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Man. Appreciate you calling in.
Who are you talking to? Hi guys, my name's Wes.
Oh, I didn't. What, Wes?
What's up, kiddos?
We got up to Wes. What's up, man?
Wow. Sorry, my kid was talking to. That's my kid. Sorry.
I love it.
Hey, we are 20 days out.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
It's like the slow, like this is going to take forever. These next 3 weeks.
Yeah,
they are.
That's essentially how this part works.
You know the worst part about being 20 days out? We're supposed to close on my new house on game day.
That shouldn't take long, though.
Yeah, I was supposed to be at the game, though. Instead, I'm going to be in Texas. I'm going to see if they'll bump it back a day.
Yeah. What's up, Mike? What you got for us?
Not really a whole lot. I was just reading some of the practice nuggets, and it sounds like that the offensive installs are already in. That's pretty impressive for 20 days out.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
I would say considering they cut the playbook in half, that's also probably part of it. But I think a lot of it is just simplicity. I can't remember who it was that did an interview, but I want to say it was one of the tight ends, and he was like, basically, I have like 5 assignments on every play, and I do those very well, and that's what I'm in there for. And so that's part of it, I think.
Yeah. And they kept a lot of, I think, the verbiage from the previous offense. They mentioned having some similarities from the previous offense, of course, not enough to ruin our offense, but so that probably helped them in learning it too as well. But yeah, that's kind of Dana's thing, is just having everybody locked into knowing the basics and knowing like their assignment, so that way they can rep those over and over and over and just kind of make them muscle memory essentially.
Yeah, it's going to make it for a smooth transition going between Sat and Dana.
Exactly.
And then it looks like tomorrow is our first full scrimmage, so we should know potentially wherever everything's at, start solidifying some spots and stuff maybe after tomorrow.
That's good and bad.
Yeah.
I heard Blyhill was not the only one that suffered a pretty major injury. I believe one of them was a linebacker. I don't want to.
Yeah, Gage Stanger.
Yeah. So that, he's more of a special teams guy, but I believe there's potentially one more. It may not be as bad, but that's, part of fall camp. You get the injury bug and hope to God you can get to week 1 relatively healthy.
Yep.
I'm a little concerned that Gabe Moore is not back yet, because of the depth and stuff. But at the same time, I'd rather him come back healthy than come back too soon.
They're going to play it safe.
You remember too with Gabe, last year at Mississippi State, he sat out for an undisclosed injury. If I'm not mistaken, it was some type of injury that we don't really know, at least publicly. If it is the same injury, fine. I guess it's not a big deal. Nebraska knew that when they recruited him and when they signed him. But it is a little kind of a red flag right now for me that he missed spring. And he's now missing fall. Well, he's limited in fall camp. So it is a little bit of a red flag for me health-wise for him.
That's if they didn't know.
Yeah.
Coming into it.
Yeah.
Which is possible. They got that discount.
One question I had for you guys, and I mean, it's just rumors at this point. Have you guys heard anything about Dylan Raiola maybe changing his number to number 1 instead of 15?
Wasn't he number 1 at what was that school at Arizona that he was at? I can't remember, but
it was well. I don't know if he actually ever played. Did he ever play a game there? It was in. I think it was in Chandler. If I'm not mistaken.
It's a great question. I think he transferred before.
I think he transferred before the season started.
Yeah.
So.
But again, too, is that because he's getting a single digit and he's honoring that tradition?
Yeah, that could be too.
I think right now it's just rumors, just because like we don't know who the single digits are. I mean, naturally, if he wants one, it's there for him though. And he probably he's got his pick of the litter.
Listening to Thompson today too, it sounds like maybe TJ Lateef might be starting to solidify his role too.
Lateef's a stud. He has.
I mean, that's a good thing
great
too.
Arm. So. TJ Lateef was one of my first film reviews I did on this channel.
TJ, I'm not surprised that he's kind of passing Marcos on the depth chart. He's a very intriguing player to me because he's not overly athletic, but he's athletic enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know how strong his arm is. And that's like my one question. But he's also, 17, 18 years old?
He's got amazing touch on his passes, though. Amazing touch on his passes. He can zip it. He can zip it off platform, rolling right too. So there are moments he displays his arm strength. So
yeah,
I feel like it's better than his size will give him credit for.
And I was gonna say that was like the one thing. There's a question mark about his size and how big he truly is. He's 6'2", 6'3", 190, 195. I've always debated long term. Say something happens, God forbid, to Dylan this year. What do they do with a long term solution versus a short term solution? Is that Jalen or is that TJ or is that Marcos long term?
Got to be the guy you recruited.
All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for right now. So I'm gonna let you go, and I will talk to you later.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you as always.
No, Michael, I need your headphones.
All right, bye, guys.
Later. Did he call him Michael?
Whacked out.
He said no, Michael. All right, let's get into some of the comments here. Go Big Red. What's going on, man? Ron T in here. Yes, sir. Hey, guys, haven't talked in a while. Am I allowed to call him for a few? It's call-in show. Go ahead.
That's exactly what you should do.
Call in, sir. That is 100% the goal. Andrew Anderson, Go Big Red. Everyone ready for the season? We are beyond ready. What's going on, Rashawn? Great day, fellas. Hear more and more good stuff from the BA Coaches Show, and guys alike texting me about Makai looking great. So let's see. Nick, Go Big Red. What's going on, Nick? Appreciate you hopping in here. Wearing 15 Wednesday. Yeah, don't think they would change yet if they were. My kid want to say Go Big Red. Go Big Red, man. Husker
baby.
Wrestling. Let's go Husker Wrestling. Shout out Husker Wrestling. Everyone call in. Click the link. It's easy peasy. Yes. What's up? What's up, Joseph? Appreciate you calling. Hopping in. You better call in. You're on a 2-week streak of call-ins. So let's go ahead and I guess we're waiting on a call-in. Let's dive a little bit into, and then we'll peek back in a second just to make sure people got the right link. But do you want to talk a little bit about the 70 million number, about the donors and kind of what Dan was talking about with those guys? Hey, look, speak of the devil.
We got to table that conversation.
Making it 3 weeks in a row, Mr. Joseph. What's going on, Joseph?
What's up, Joseph?
Let's go. What's up, fellas?
What up, man?
How are you?
Dude, life is good. Life is good. How about you guys?
It's great. Football season's 20 days away. It'll be a lot better in 20 days, but
yeah,
I'm
stressed right now.
Stressed. What's got you stressed, brother?
Well, so I'm moving to Texas. And on our way home, our buyers backed out of our deal.
No, Texas is great. I've spent some time in Texas, and I like Texas.
It's awesome.
We're going to be out in kind of a tiny little town, 40,000 people. So I'm looking forward to it.
Moving is stressful, so I sympathize with you.
Yeah.
I'm calling. I don't know if you guys happen to see it. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. He's from Georgia. He put out a podcast. It's like Grind the Film or the film guy. but he breaks down Dylan Raiola.
I think I saw that.
Did you?
A little bit of it. A little bit of it, yeah.
He sort of had an acronym for Nebraska. NAD is what he called it. They have an NAD offense, not a dude. And he was showing how Boston College was able to use man coverage and just blanket our guys where a lot of guys weren't getting open.
Yep.
And according to him, like if Boston College is able to cover us with their defensive backs, then Ohio State's covering us. Michigan's probably covering us. Oregon's covering us. But so they sold us on having these weapons, and I kind of think our media at times, and I don't want to have our media be this guy sucks and this guy stinks and why are you playing this guy? I mean, our team's our team. I don't care who it is. I'm going to root for them, and I'm not going to say they suck. They may need some improvement, but they just sold us on this can of worms that we had all these weapons, and those guys underperformed. I'm hoping this year's wide receivers are so much better, but I guess I'd also like to see a little bit more better journalism. I don't know. I'm sort of on the fence as far as I don't want them to badmouth the team every week in and out, but
they came out last year and they did early in the season talk about how one of the biggest opportunities for the receiver corps was they were struggling against man coverage.
Yeah.
And so, with DeKel Shorts coming in here and Holgorsen basically hammering in on, a couple of the things he realized with the offensive weapons is that and perimeter blocking was terrible. So anything in one-on-ones, they were struggling in. So I guarantee you that was a huge heavy focus of this offseason. And we got some guys in there that have proven they can do it.
They do have more of a better track record, at Cal, at Kentucky. They've proven they can put up some numbers. Hopefully they can stay healthy and do it here. I also think, and we, I'm kind of rehashing some other stuff I've talked about. Garrett McGuire was in over his head, I believe.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, right. Thank you,
No
Captain.
No fault of his. He took the opportunity that was presented, but I think he's much better off starting.
Yeah. You can't blame the kid. And he comes from his dad. And I actually watched a video of his dad, who was super complimentary of Matt Rule. His dad loves Matt Rule. And that's a pretty high compliment, especially, he's a decent coach at Texas Tech. They're throwing a lot of money around. I wish we kind of had some of that money. I also think
that's one thing I've never heard a coach say anything remotely even neutral about Matt Rule. It's always positive, it seems.
Yeah, and I can't remember his first name, but the guy at Texas Tech is very fond of Matt Rule. Matt Rule gave him an opportunity, I think, at Baylor, and gave him kind of a pep talk. Was he? Yeah. I don't know the whole details, but yeah, he is super complimentary of Matt Rule, which is great to see. I mean, I like Matt Rule not for the wins and losses. I mean, obviously, I want the wins, but the guy just kind of carries himself with class and which is fantastic. But another thing I wanted to sort of touch on, and not a lot of people have talked about it, and I may get their first names right or first names wrong. I think it's Sean and Ryan Peeds, the Peeds brothers, the Peeds family. Mm-hmm. Our main donors. Good Lord, we need to get just one more big time donor. I mean, I don't know how much longer these guys can sort of fit the bill, but
Warren Buffett.
Oh, I'd love it. I guess all of his charity has been given to his kids. So if there's any charity to come out of the Buffett family, it's supposedly been all given to his kids. I don't know.
We got to recruit those kids.
Oh, 100%.
I work for a company that's owned by Warren Buffett, and I know they do furniture deals with a certain furniture company to furnish homes of these players, if you're catching my drift.
Oh, yeah.
And they do the same thing here in Kansas City with the Chiefs, with the place in which I work. They gave them all brand new beds.
They're getting furniture for not for much.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. Hey, guys, I love the show. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, appreciate you as always, man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Husker
Jason.
Wrestling.
Let's go, Husker Wrestling.
Guys, have a good one.
Later up.
You too. I love his
right.
tattoo.
And waiting in the wins, we got Mr. BA from the BA Coaches Show. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not
What's up, Coach?
too
How are you?
much. How's everything going with coaching over there in Kansas?
Hey, it's going pretty good. This is kind of like my last weekend off before I'll be, fully back to the grind. Got a whole bunch of
Absolutely.
meetings and all that good stuff next week, and we're ready to rock and roll.
All that fun stuff.
Oh yeah. No, I was just gonna call in and say, you guys are, follow me on social media and whatnot. I was actually at practice on Wednesday. Coach Dvorak and Ed Foley kind of gave me an invite up there, so me and one of my assistants made the trip up to Lincoln and visited practice on Wednesday.
Nice.
And man, I do have to say, I am very impressed by Dana Holgerson in comparison to the other offensive coordinator that was on the staff previously. Not even talking smack, but the biggest thing
be
that I
talking about
noticed
Mark
about
Whipple.
Dana was he doesn't let the little mistakes go that I've seen the last, because I've attended a practice every year in Lincoln since Rule's been there, right? And I gotta say, Dana doesn't let that crap go.
No.
Because am I excited for the wide receiver room? Yes, I understand everyone has a bad day. I will say the wide receivers had a really bad day on Wednesday. They had a lot of drops. And I will say, I will not repeat what was said, but there was a lot of things said.
It's a family
to
show.
those receivers. There was some wild stuff said. But no, I think I'm really excited just to see. I think now with a really good offensive staff, I think the perimeter blocking looked a lot better. And hey, I gotta say, I think Mekhi Nelson really impressed me. Justin, I know I texted you about him, but against the ones and the twos, he was out there making some really big plays. Like, man, I don't know. I know you guys had probably heard some things from practice, going on throughout the last week or so. You guys hearing some pretty good things as well?
Yeah, mainly, of course, I think the biggest position group per se that's going to surprise a lot of people this year. I think that's an offensive line based on what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah.
Can I piggyback off that?
Yep.
I think if you be specific, offensive tackle, which we know has been an issue. For a couple weeks now, we've heard Prohaska is looking phenomenal. I believe this past week he is over. Now it's practice, and I know they're rotating, so I want to preface that before I go into this next statement. But I believe he's overtaken Tyler Kanek as your number one right tackle. Mm-hmm. And I believe Gunnar Katula is strongly pushing, if not already, potentially ahead of Elijah Pritchett at left tackle.
Now, I would agree with that assessment. I won't. I get told not to, share a whole, but I will say I agree with that assessment.
Yeah.
So it also comes back down to money too, where, let's be real here, and that's always been my concern with NIL, and people who are more involved, like you, Coach, can probably attest to this, especially from a recruiting perspective with players. But if player A is making 600 and player B is making 200, you're probably playing player A,
right?
If I'm not mistaken.
Right. And that is kind of the weird, I know it is kind of the weird game with the NIL stuff, because obviously you see it in the NFL, but in the NFL it's like, hey, you can trade a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that in college. So I do agree that is kind of a weird thing of NIL.
Well, my thing too, just piggybacking on the O-line again, is like talking through that. You're talking about Holgerson's assistance on excellence. Like I feel like this is staff not just coaching to win against Cincinnati. They're kind of coaching to win, like in November. So they don't want 5 guys they can roll out on the field against Cincinnati. They want 8 guys that can carry them into November.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where we're seeing the standard raise.
Oh, I 100% agree. Something that, I kind of, as a coach, I'm trying to pick up on, how things were being, run, different drills and whatnot. And watching the O-line, I do have to say something that really impressed me was normally when I'm up there, I can see like the top few guys are really physical, right? You can tell the difference between like, hey, here's our best one or two offensive linemen compared to the rest of them. You know what I mean? Like I said, we got like 7, 8 dudes that are really physical. And that's something that, again, I know that even in previous years, I get it. They're all, power 4 O-line. But I'm saying, like, I saw the standard raised even more. I could see how physical they were up front. And, hey, defensively, dude, Vincent Shavers is a freaking monster, boys. He's a monster. I know that's completely off topic, but just talking about big physical dudes got him on my mind. He is a freaking monster.
Just being a standout in this linebacker room just goes to show how impressive he is. Because this linebacker room, I'll get into Dvorak's comments in just a second. But, go ahead. Brian, you want to elaborate on that?
This linebacker room, and I don't think it's crazy to say it goes at minimum 6 deep with legit guys that could start right now. You have your top 3 guys of Marquise, Watson Trent, Javin Wright, and then Desan McCullough. But you could also argue that Vincent Shavers should be a starter. Willis McGahee should be a starter. And I'm going to tell you right now, at Jack linebacker, the 2 guys that aren't getting talked about enough are Jordan Ochoa and Maverick Noonan right now. I mean, they may not be starter level guys, but they are going to be a factor, whether that's 15 or 20 snaps that they get per game, or even if it's 10. Those are guys that I think future-wise are going to be studs on this defense.
Yeah, because don't forget, Ochoa just got locked into a position this offseason. Yeah. Like a for sure position that they want to bring him up at. And again, like kind of what Dvorak was talking about, like, the safeties are typically what's the quarterback of the defense, right? And he's talking about the linebackers getting into their aligning before the safeties, getting their alignment before the safeties. And the benefit of that too is like it acts as like kind of multiple quarterbacks for defense. The safeties are deeper. They have a better like overall kind of view of the formation. But the linebackers, with their recognition being faster, that kind of takes some pressure off of the defensive backs in a way too.
Right.
And aligning quickly against tempo offenses, which a lot of teams run today, is extremely important. So having those guys like Shavers that play super fast, like when the linebackers own the defense, like it makes you faster. You can disguise more. It frustrates the hell out of QBs who think they can just motion you to death, when you're making the proper adjustments and alignments. It's just this linebacker room, man. I can't say enough about how like excited I am for them.
Yeah, no, 100%. My assistant that was with me actually, they had Wednesday was a lot of like heavy team period, which I do have to say I've gone to a bunch of Division I, practices and whatnot. I do have to say this is the first time that I have seen 10 minutes into practice they go the ones versus the ones. I haven't seen that. I really respect that. I really thought it was a good way to get the intensity up in practice, but it threw me off when I realized we were getting the one offense against the one defense.
I like it. I like it. I wonder if they even warned them. Probably just like, let's see how you do in the pressure. Brian, can you back out? Come back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, 100%. I thought that was really cool, but my assistant's like, hey, that's the second line, because they got a couple scrimmages going on. He's like, those are the backup linebackers. I'm like, yeah, this linebacker room is loaded. When you got dudes lining up with the 2s or even the 3s, it's like, yeah, that linebacker room is intense.
And here's go ahead. Here's my thing, if you don't mind, if I jump in here with when you were talking about Holgorsen, kind of like with his no nonsense attitude. Like, I think that's what a lot of people are missing about why this offense is going to take the next step. Like, you were able to see it through a coach's lens, that he's getting on these players, for even the smallest of details. But that's because like he's got such a wide range of experience. Like he's not rattled by much. He's seen every defensive disguise,
100%.
try to bully his offense, talent gaps and rosters. So like he's not a gimmicky guy. You know, he knows what wins, and similar to Rule, they're very similar in that regard, where they know what wins, and they preach that, you know, to the 10th degree. You know, you got to do it their way or you're not going to do it. And I think that's what's going to be so good about the execution of this team. You know, he'll tell us exactly why the run game didn't work, or why the quarterback
100%.
missed throws. Like he's willing to have that uncomfortable conversation with us. So, you know, he's willing to have it with them. You know, it translates to the players.
Yeah.
They stand with him because of his authenticity, no sugarcoating, speeds up their development. You know, they're not guessing at what the coach thinks. And I think that's going to go a long way with these young guys.
100%. I distinctly remember last year, I want to say it was after the Indiana game, you know, Satterfield was at a press conference and he said something about, you know, he's being reactionary and letting a lot of those mistakes go. He should have been more out in front of it. And obviously as a coach, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But here's what I'll say. That's not the case with Dana. Dana will stop a drill to let you know that you just F that up. And I love that. I think, like you said, that's the intensity that this offensive group needs. And just on that, you know, kind of note, I will say, like, someone that really was getting after the guys a lot more this year in comparison to what we saw last year, Dylan. Dylan looks really good. One, as a leader, then two, dude, just spinning that football. It's like, man, he was obviously crazy talented last year. He looks just as, you know, good this year. Because here's what I'll say. Did I see him throw a couple picks the other day? Yeah, but here's what I'll say. None of them are on him. You know, like I said, the receivers had a rough day. I'll say that. Receivers had a rough day, but Dylan just finding the open dude and making the ball. Great ball placement. Just, you know, receivers had a little bit of a rough day, so the defense kind of, you know, I'd say won the day. But no, Dylan really excites me for that. As I know he excites everybody, but seeing it happen 15 feet in front of my face, you know what I mean, just got me even more pumped.
You know, Brian, I'll let you jump in here in a second. Sorry. One of the things that I feel like is really going to help Dylan take that next step this year is the fact that Rule and Holgorsen are so structured and streamlined with everything. Like, I think they're making the most efficient work of the time that they have with them, but also, you know, understanding with the limited amount of time that they have. Again, it's just keeping it simple for him and everybody. Like, Holgorsen's been preaching that, because if your quarterback is thinking less, you know, he's going to be able to make throws more. And when you have a lot of similar plays out of a formation where you have, you know, this guy doing this guy doing this, as opposed to running a bunch of different formations with no rhyme or reason, of course, that's going to be able to build off each other, and his confidence is going to be through the roof. And again, another thing is just seeing what he's up against with this defense every day in practice. Like, that's not easy, you know, going up against this linebacker core, going up against these DBs. You know, it's not easy, but it's great reps for an O-line and him.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, guys, that's about all I had. I just kind of wanted to give you, you know, some of my perspective, you know, because I had a really cool day on Wednesday making that, you know, trip up there, and just some things, you know, I noticed. I will say, walking out of Hawks indoor facility, I was like, I will be real with you. In the moment, this is kind of a little bit reactionary in mind. I was like, I am a little bit worried about these receivers, just because I understand once time has passed, I look back as a coach and realize it was a bad day. I get it. You know what I mean? But when I walked out of there, I was like, dude, there was a lot of drops today. Like, there was a lot. So here's what I'll say. Do I feel really good about this receiver room? Yes. If the receivers have a rough night in Kansas City against Cincinnati, I will say will be a little bit more of a red flag for me, just because, you know what I mean? I did see it in practice, but here's what I'll say. These guys are going to get them right. Shorts was getting after him. Rule was getting after him, something I noticed. I think it's a good thing. Rule was a lot more intense at this practice than I've seen him in the last 2 years. Not saying that's a bad thing, and I think it's a good thing.
Probably a good thing.
This is the year. You know, I don't want to say stressed out, probably isn't the right word, but he just was intense that whole time. I've not heard him scream and yell. I know he can get that way on the sideline a lot, but I just hadn't seen that in practice. And I was like, hey, I like this Rule. I like this Rule when he was getting after those boys. So, no, I thought that was really cool. So I just kind of wanted to share that perspective and kind of, you know, hear your guys' thoughts on everything.
No, I think your skepticism is fair. You know, it's one of those things. It's like we were burned last year. Right. You know, I had high hopes on Jamal Banks coming into the season, And I got burned on that too. So I totally understand like your reservations there. I think the one thing that I just try to go back to is like the confidence that the staff has in this team. I don't think they would have that confidence without weapons, but
Right.
we got to see those guys step up and lights on. So
No,
that'll be,
100%.
like you said,
That's,
Cincinnati be the ultimate test.
Yeah, that's 100% how I feel. It's, hey, I'm not out on it. Don't get me. I'm still really pumped about those.
No,
but
it's just cautiously
it was at least
optimistic.
a little bit of a, okay, I understand it was only one practice out of the, however many they have.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, it is something to at least keep my eye on, because
It's completely
I can't
fair.
even signal out a guy or two. It was, when I say it was everybody, it was everybody. You know what I mean?
Completely fair. I would probably have the same reaction if I would have been there watching.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I won't repeat
sure.
everything that was said, but at one point Dana said some things and he finished it with, it's routes on effing air. You know what I'm like?
Yeah.
It was that kind of day. And hey,
Yeah.
what made me feel good is I could go to my coaching staff and say, hey guys, we all been there.
Yeah.
These Big Ten coaches are dealing with the same stuff we are at the Kansas high school level.
Please don't repeat what he said. Brian gets easily offended.
But yeah, man, that was about all I had. I appreciate you guys letting me call in for a bit. I enjoyed talking with you guys.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you.
Yep. See you.
All right. Always BA coming in with some good. Yeah, he was the one who texted me earlier about Makai. So, if Raiola were to go to single digit, I could see him picking 9. His godfather Matthew Stafford is 9 if it were open. I see that.
Yeah.
I still think he's
but
going to
his
stay at
entire
15.
branding is around 15.
I still think he's
which-
going to stay 15. Yeah.
Yeah. Built comment
Well,
right there. Built Steve
Rashawn,
Brown 15.
actually, yeah, now that I'm reading this, she says it right here. Depends on how serious his branding. 15 built steam with the number. Yeah. So
Yep.
nailed it. Exactly. But our receivers
I
from
wouldn't
last
change my
year,
number.
man. Yeah, no. Definitely not. Not with NIL. I hate knocking the team, but they really did. Maybe part of the coaching. I don't know. Garrett McGuire is coaching running backs this year. Yes, that is true. He's coaching running
At
backs.
Texas Tech.
Yep. I was at the open practice. Your boy looked good running. Nelson looked poppy. Yeah. Thank you, Brian. Maverick is going to be a force. I have nothing to call in about tonight. Bonelet, it's okay, man. Thank you for being here. You being here in spirits enough. How do our special teams look? Thomas said Raiola anticipates routes too much sometimes. I could see that.
Can you explain kind of in detail what that means more? So just like my interpretation is like if you're anticipating a certain coverage and a route should be there based on that coverage, and then you don't read the coverage post snap, but you're still keeping up with that anticipation.
Yeah, like if and different verbiages for different coach, but the way I kind of understood this is like, I think sometimes like with the routes he may, that's what I'm looking for, like stare down the route a little too much, or try to look down something that's not going to be there, anticipating that it's going to be there and sticking on it too long. That's from what I read it as. So maybe not going through his progressions fast enough, locking on a target, too long, something like that. That would be my interpretation of it, to be honest. So, and I think that's fair as a young quarterback. I don't think it's going to be, because last year I think there were multiple times where he was locked on receivers. Yeah. But they're talking about this year as he's running the offense a little bit more, calling audibles and stuff like that. I can see him just trying to be a little bit too reliant on certain routes that may have a higher success rate with him,
Yeah.
And then
I think back to the Illinois game where that linebacker bailed into coverage super late and he just stared down the receiver and he was right there and never saw him.
Was that the Rutgers game?
No, Rutgers. Yeah, that's the game.
Where the linebacker kind of lurked him?
Yep.
Took one step forward, just kind of stepped back. I think at that time too, he wasn't seeing the field very well because the pressure was so relentless on him too.
Yeah,
that was his first pick of the season. Sorry, I got nothing tonight. Great job, guys. Hey, shout out to Nisha. Appreciate you.
Thank you
very much. If Pritchett was better at right tackle at Alabama, why would we put him at left tackle? Pritchett was moved around a lot at Alabama because first off, the coaching staff that brought him in there was no longer there, And he flashed at times, but struggled at others. And then they had a young guy come in and battle him for time. So, like, he was just kind of Alabama with him was not a very good situation overall, but he did have flashes of really, really good moments. And I think that's what's kind of Nebraska's buying in on. But I think a lot of it was just he didn't see eye to eye with the coaches and got a little bit frustrated that this younger guy came in and started pushing him for time. After he kind of waited his turn and performed decently, but again, he just was very inconsistent.
Wasn't he one of the guys that entered the portal after Saban retired, and then Kalen DeBoer convinced him to come back, and then of course you come back, and now you're, Caden Proctor leaves, then he comes back, and now you were leaving a situation, and then you came back thinking that situation was gone, and then Caden Proctor comes back, and you're in the exact same situation.
Yep, and then there's another young guy competing with him for snaps at the other side.
So it just was not a great situation.
Not at all. Let's see here. Oh, we got two people calling in.
Other Dave was first.
Yeah, let's go ahead. The other Dave, what's going on, man? Appreciate you calling in, sir.
Hey, you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you great.
All right, I'm making hard-boiled eggs for the family, so
let's go.
It's really boring. Something Coach BA said that really got my attention was the receivers dropping the balls. Am I to infer that they're getting open against man coverage?
That's a way to take a positive out of a negative. I like that.
I do too. However, is that a bad sign for defensive backs?
I do think that's probably like a one-off, or maybe not, but like it's not an overwhelming problem because I think you have tape from Isaiah at Cal. You got tape from Dane Key at Kentucky.
Dankey's tape at Kentucky. Give me Dankey's tape all day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, you have three guys with over 120 receptions combined last year. I wouldn't worry too much. But like Coach said, if Cincinnati comes out and you have the same problem, then you're starting to have a red flag come up.
Good luck running man coverage and stopping Dane Key. He is excellent against man coverage with his route running.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that because I watched that film guy clip too, and yeah,
I only checked out like 5 minutes of it. I wasn't able to check it out, but I bookmarked it because I want to go check it out for sure.
Yeah, we all know we couldn't get open versus man last year, so I'll be curious to see Dylan's numbers. Yeah, Dylan's numbers when he has receivers that can actually beat man.
Yep.
So because he tore up zone last year, so
yes,
yeah, that'll be exciting. And yeah, whenever Elijah Pritchett's brought up, I always think of Happy Philip Milroe. So held onto the ball too long, scrambled a lot. So I really think Pritchett's numbers at Alabama look worse than he really is. So but we'd be curious to hear who you guys think is going to win that left tackle battle.
Didn't Jalen Milroe have the highest time to throw in the entire country every year?
He did, because I went on and I researched that myself during the season because I was seeing
when he blocked for 5 seconds constantly. It's probably
like 3.2 seconds or something like that. Crazy.
Nuts. Yeah. So I think we got to always remember that. So I'm excited to see him. He's a guy that was made in a lab for left tackle. So
yeah, I'm gonna double check Jalen Milroe's time to throw.
Yeah. My last question, I just got clearance from the wife to go to Kansas City. So
let's go.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm going to go to at least 3 games this year. And, Brian, you're going, is that what I remember? Or do you anybody research tailgates or barbecue spots or what to do?
If I'm going or not is up for debate right now. We close on our house in Texas the day of the game, so I'm going to see if they can potentially move the closing date back a day. Barbecue spots in Kansas City, you got to go to the OG Casey Joe's, which is in a gas station. If you want more of a higher end fine dining barbecue experience, it's Q39. That's my favorite. If I'm still here, you can just come enjoy my smoked ribs or whatever I cook that night. Tailgating spots. Have you ever been to Arrowhead before?
I was there for the Oklahoma State game a long time ago.
So it's still a gigantic open parking lot. So literally, like if you want to bring like a little cooker or whatever, just they have it marked off where like your tailgate of your car has to be here. And then it's like a 5-foot buffer zone for every parking spot, at least the last time I was there, for you to have a tailgate set up. So it's pretty much designed to tailgate for 65,000 people.
Good. I'll be the one crashing tailgates, not hosting one. So,
Well, then you can come crash.
yeah, I appreciate that. That's all I had for you guys. Just wanted to check in, say thanks for doing the call-in show.
Yeah, no, appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave.
Later.
All right.
He asked who we think's going to be the top, who wins that left tackle spot.
Oh,
I'm still saying Pritchett.
yeah, I think I got to stick with Pritchett. Based on talent and just kind of the conversation around it, I think I got to stick with Pritchett. And, you know, I wasn't going to say it. The conversation
I
around
didn't say it either.
the conversation around it. Bone-led, corn-fed, what's going on, sir? How you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. I know I said I couldn't think of anything, but I thought of something.
Let's go.
It makes you wonder, you know, Coach Holgerson said if you don't block, you don't get the rock. Well, shouldn't he say if you don't catch the ball, you don't get the ball?
I'm sure. However, if Dan Key doesn't catch the ball,
Well, yeah.
you wouldn't inform.
But I mean, the way it sounded, though, it sounded like they didn't even complete a single pass.
The thing that I am going to point to is the standard throughout the program. If one part of the team isn't holding up into their end of the bargain, I guarantee you they have a same repercussion as, you know, no block, no rock, you know, because I think the standard has been set across the program in its entirety now. So I guarantee you those guys heard an earful, but I don't think we should blow it out of proportion completely. Again, it's just one practice, you know, fans there, lights on, or people there, lights on. So like, it's one of those things. It's just like, I don't think we should put too much stock into it.
Yeah, we need to see week 1, week 2, week 3, kind of how that looks.
Yeah, well, you know, we all have, you know, like maybe a bad day at work or, you know, just a bad day in general. So,
and they're getting up to live speed still.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then my next question is, could they have been trying to do something different? As in, I don't know. I missed part of the early call of the BA coaches show, but maybe they were trying to figure out, maybe they were trying to do like, what's that called? No huddle, you know? And we're just trying to hurry up and do that to see, you know, I mean, I don't know, but
potentially could have been trying new things, but
Justin,
what?
You're right. Oh, well, you were, what is it?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. You're back, but you weren't.
I don't think, did I go away, Brian?
No, I think it was just trying to make sure we are transitioning without over talking each other.
Bone-led's hallucinating.
No, the screen went black and it had a circle and it said 4375.
Oh, those must have been on your end then.
Now, see?
Just disappeared into the
Now I
abyss.
forgot what I was going to say. Brian, go ahead.
I think because that Coach BA said that was Wednesday when he was there, which was not an open practice, but because he is a head coach in the high school ranks,
right.
they get privy, you know, different access than what we would get. So, Coach, if you're still in the chat, you could probably elaborate on that more. But if they're practicing different techniques or 2-minute drills, or
they
whatever.
were open all night in 1-on-1, 7-on-7 and team. So,
yeah.
So
So they're probably just working on whatever scripted plays or something.
I'll take open receivers that drop a few passes in practice over.
I don't know, man. Kadarius Toney traumatized me for an entire football season.
Listen,
Yeah,
saw many times we try to rely on contested catches early last season, and it failed.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is, you know, it's good that the coaches can coach the players hard, you know, and then take that and use that as motivation, you know, to get better rather than taking it as a negative or like a poor me type thing and not using it to get better.
No, I think this wide receiver core has got the right mindset. I don't think they're dwelling on that at all. I think they're moving on to the next day. I really think that's part of the mindset of this team is reset every day. You know, each day, okay, tomorrow's done, get out and set the tone today. That's how it should be in any winning culture of a football program. That's how it is. Reset. Today's a new day. Get after it 100% and then make it better the next day.
Well, that's good. I mean, they should want to play to win. I mean, granted, they shouldn't want to play to like tie, you know, or to just
definitely
keep
not. Don't play to lose. Don't play to tie for sure.
Yeah, you know, and granted, yeah, you know, they get money, but not everyone on the team gets the same amount. So they should all be playing to win, and not somebody who's like, well, I make more than you, so I don't have to play as hard as you.
I don't think those players are going to survive on this roster. They're going to be gone quick if they have that mindset.
Just
that's not the culture of this team.
Yeah,
Good.
Micah Mizuka last year, there was a receiver or two that kind of had a similar mindset, and they never saw the field.
Yeah,
and they're, not part of the program anymore. So,
well, that's good. That's good. Have you guys seen some of the swag videos with Coach Rule? It shows him like, there's this. Oh God, what's the guy's last name is? I think it's Jack Leonard or something like that. He's a guy that grills food, and
he's a
I
big
think
time
like
smoker.
every Thursday he goes and grills food. I think at Coach Rule's house for the players or something. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding that, but anyways,
Might be.
he knows Coach Rule, but well, anyways, yeah. And then there was a lot of other things. It shows Coach talking to a player while they're walking, along the field and stuff, and pretty neat type of stuff. I mean, we didn't have these things, way back, when they still had my time when they still had the horse and buggy, but yeah, I mean, it seems to make it more interesting that way, so
For sure.
It's part of being marketable too. When you're recruiting, you have to have a presence and somewhat of a social media presence, I guess, as a coach.
Well, and it helps the fans be closer to it's a more intimate relationship with the team. That's one of the things I noticed about Astros baseball that my wife noticed. She became a fan of baseball first. She didn't like any teams, and I showed her all my teams. She became a fan of baseball first because everything that the team does is connected, to the city or something like that. Like they're doing local ads with HEB, things like that. Those type of deals. So having a more personalized kind of look inside, and then the players kind of stepping outside, like social media and all that, I think that just creates that connection that hasn't been there before. And I think that's also very beneficial to keeping players around, the fan relationship, the fan to player relationship, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, all that's super, super important.
Well, I want to say I have a tribute coming up, and it's going to be in the statement that I make. So it's to Joseph, and when I say it, I will leave then, and that is Husker wrestling. Yay, yay, yay! Husker wrestling. Yay, yay, yay!
Let's go. I should have clipped that. I need that as a soundboard.
Well,
Every time he comments.
Yeah.
yeah. How's that? But all right. Well, thank you guys.
Hey, appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
So this conversation right here, what's the perfect scenario with the DBs versus wide receivers in a perfect world? Catching contested passes. There's no winning.
Yeah.
Blanketed coverage, maybe. Do you have a concern about Watson Trent's height? I know he's a baller in his tackling machine, but is he big enough for the pounding he's going to take in the Big Ten? He's a big dude.
He's 5'11", 225. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he's going to be winning pad level battles, winning leverage battles. So he's going to have benefits to his frame, but he's got dense, super functional weight. There's no wasted mass on him. And he's like a bowling ball. It's like all that mass transfers is lower center of gravity. And having that lower center of gravity, you tend to absorb contact better. There's less surface area of your body to target and fewer places to knock you off balance. And think of it as like any kind of fulcrum. The wider it is, the wider the thing of the fulcrum, the easier it's going to move around. So, I just think he's very like violent in his play style too, and he's smart in his play style. So he uses a compact frame to advantages. So,
and one thing too, like I've never understood like this big deal about being 5'11" linebacker versus 6 foot. Like you're talking about an inch, but if he had a 68-inch wingspan, that might be a little concerning. But he doesn't. Yeah. He has like a 75-inch wingspan, which is what, over 6 feet. So he's got long arms. So even though he is shorter in stature, he's got long arms where he can engage blockers, keep good length when he is maybe doing outside contain or something where he can, have good reach on a punch, still have one arm free.
So Sharp said he looked way smaller than listed. They might have leaned up, but I guarantee you the muscle that he has is still functional muscle. And again, I just think like he does what he does well. He knows how to do it well. It's explosive, downhill mindset. And I think like he's built for a war of attrition. I think with the rotation of the linebackers, it's going to, look at how many snaps he played. He's going to be fine in this rotation.
If he was at Nebraska his entire time before transferring over from Georgia Southern, say it never happened, he'd be one of the all-time leading tacklers in Nebraska history right now.
Yeah, let me see.
He's got I want to say over 300 career tackles.
Yes. So, he's got a ridiculous. So, he had last season, he had 3 seasons with more than 100 tackles, 16 games with double-figure tackles.
It's crazy.
Last year,
I don't care what level.
113 tackles.
First team all CUSA, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Back
Forces fumbles. Yeah. He set all kinds of records too. I had them all listed back when I broke him down when we first got him. But he played 49 games, 37 starts.
And he's a 2-time defensive player of the year.
Second on their all-time tackle list with 363, including 3 seasons more than 100 tackles, 16 games. Watson Trent added 26 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 8 PBUs, 2 interceptions, 6 forced fumbles in his Georgia Southern career. 3-time All Sun Belt Conference selection, 2024 Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and honorable mention All-American. Watson Trent was a 2-time Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Week selection, Georgia Southern.
You say honorable mention All-American?
Yeah, and he
Georgia Southern.
Yes. Yep.
So when was the last honorable mention All-American Nebraska's had at linebacker?
Good
Levante? Second team All-American?
Probably.
So I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, he had 118 tackles last year.
Yeah, we'll be all right. He was ranked as one of the top linebackers in the entire conference right now.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I don't know if that was PFF or what ranking was. I saw that, though. Scrimmage will tell us a few things as well. Not many live reps in practice nowadays. I think they'll end up good. I didn't mean to make a big deal. My bad, boys. Hey, it's all right. Come and stir it up.
We're all freaking out now.
We appreciate it. Hey, you know what? You're right. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, we invited you. Brian, for some of us. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. The Call-In Show. Let's see. All right, if we don't got any more calls, then we are going to go ahead and conclude. Not only that, but did Georgia Southern play several P schools during this time there?
They beat Nebraska during his time there. They got Scott Frost fired.
Don't you? Actually, I went to the Oklahoma game. We got destroyed the next week after the bye week. However, it made me excited to go to the Oklahoma game because I was not excited after the Georgia Southern loss.
I was not. I was the same way. I was not going to go. And then
when he got fired, I was like, thank God.
Yeah, I was like, I'll go. You always see it happen too. Like, coach gets fired, and then all of a sudden, teams like, all right, we're going to start winning, and they just go on a tear.
Yeah, I was front row, first row, not on the Nebraska side where the tunnel is, but kind of on the 40-yard line of the other side. And I have a video where Gabriel made that long run down the sideline where Tommy Hill basically gave up on the play. That happened right in front of me. And that was when third down was super loud, like my brain was rattling. And like he ran right past us. And we're like, oh, you see my body here, you see me just go, oh. And it was all downhill.
I put a bet on that game. And it was Dylan Gabriel over like 40-yard rushing touchdown. It was a nice parlay. It was like Oklahoma taking the point. I mean, it was great, phenomenal parlay. And when he had that run, I was at the game with my cousin, and I was like, I had that on my bet. Like, fuck, I'm mad that it happened, but like, I did make some money. So
how dare you do that? I can't do that. I can't bet against my team. Can't do it.
I didn't bet for anything on Nebraska except for maybe like Adrian Martinez,
just then
over under 120 yards or something.
Avoid the game, then don't bet on it.
I don't bet anymore, so we're good.
All right, guys. Well, shout out to Ending Addictions. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to Husker Gutter Call-In Show. Great show, guys. Thanks. Appreciate you, William. Thank you all for tuning in. As usual, again, it's going to be Friday at 7 p.m. Central. The call-in show will be Friday at 7 p.m. Central. Tuesdays, our live stream will be at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. my time, almost at 4 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. your time over there in the great old state of Nebraska. But yeah, Brian, anything else before we head out?
We're going to do post-game live call-in show after Cincinnati, correct?
Yes.
So that'd be like a 12 p.m. Central time show. So
something like that.
You guys better be calling in because we're going to kick their ass and we're going to have a great time together on the 28th. Sound good?
Get hot on the dials.
That's all I ask.
I just don't want it to be there.
If we lose, we're all going to be raging together on the show. So.
Let's not talk about that, guys. All right, we're going to win against Cincinnati. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you so much per usual, and we will see y'all in the next video. Peace.